Perhaps you've heard the word executive function. It's being talked a lot about right now in early childhood development. And so here at the YWCA Metropolitan Chicago, we're trying to get the word out about what executive functioning is and how we can build stronger brains with our children. Executive function and self-regulation are a set of brain-based skills that develop in the frontal lobe region of our brains. Research says that this part of our brain starts developing in early childhood and doesn't fully develop until we're in our mid to late 20s. These brain-based skills consist of 3 areas: our working memory, our flexible thinking, and our inhibitory or self-control. Let's talk a little bit more about each of these areas. Working memory is our ability to hold and recall information in our short-term memory. For example, you may ask your child in the morning to wake up, get dressed, and come to the kitchen table for breakfast. Your child would have to use their working memory to recall those 3 areas that you asked them to do. Now, if your child shows up for breakfast and they didn't get dressed, that might indicate a breakdown in their working memory. Again, working memory is our ability to hold and recall information. In school, children use their working memory to remember the directions or to follow through with simple step directions. They also remember what they need to do in that day, and they use their working memory to remember the rules of a game or even learning how to read and write. Flexible thinking is what helps us adapt and change to the different activities throughout our day. Children use flexible thinking in school to help them problem solve or come up with solutions in a strategic way. Flexible thinking also helps children learn to relate to other children. So we all have different experiences, and so flexible thinking allows for an openness where children can understand and learn about the ways that other people live that may be different than their own. Self or inhibitory control is the ability to ignore distractions and focus on the task at hand while suppressing your impulse to do something that maybe you shouldn't be doing. And as you can imagine, this is a very difficult skill for young children. An example of this would be at school when children are at circle time and they're going around the circle waiting for their turn to speak. It's very difficult, but children are practicing self and inhibitory control by being patient as they wait and also suppressing that impulse to maybe interrupt or speak when it's not their turn. Some ideas that you can try at home to help build your child's working memory would be to just give them some simple 1, 2, or 3-step directions and see how they do. Another fun way is just to play games with your children, games that require those thinking and memory skills, such as memory. Children have to remember where that matching object is. You can also be supportive by creating charts that have their daily responsibilities on them. That way children have that visual reminder that can help strengthen their working memory of what they need to do. And it also helps build their self-care needs. Parents can help with developing flexible thinking in their children by playing a simple game that we all know called Simon Says. We know the rule is you always do what Simon says, and if Simon didn't say, you don't do it. Well, how about changing it up to you don't do what Simon says? Children would have to have that flexibility in their thinking to adapt to that new rule. Now, if that's too hard for your child, you can also play a similar game using a puppet. Do what this puppet does, not what that puppet does. Again, that way children have to have that flexibility of thinking to adapt to the rule of the game. Mealtime is a great time to work on inhibitory or self-control with children. Just like at circle time at school, at mealtime, it's a great opportunity for families to connect and share about their day. Children have to use these self-control skills to wait their turn and to suppress that impulse to interrupt until it's their turn. Another great way parents can support their children with self-control is working on mindfulness. Taking some nice, calm, deep breaths, helping your children learn to regulate their feelings and to talk about their feelings in a healthy way can help practice the self-control skills. Lastly, you can explore ways that your child likes to relax. Maybe your child enjoys coloring or art, just ways to regulate and to bring themselves down from maybe a particular day that was stressful or something that happened that got them really worked up. If your child is in an early learning childcare center, preschool, or kindergarten, they are working each day on developing these executive function skills through the routines they have, responsibilities or jobs that they have, and through their interactions with their peers. Try to bring some of these skills home by having age-appropriate expectations for your children, engaging in games that are fun and play-based, and helping your child manage their emotions. Believe it or not, these basic interventions are essential to your child developing strong executive function skills. And these are skills that will contribute to their success in school and life.